Let me ask you this from a educational perspective: do you think about how do you bridge the gap, or let me put it like this: how do you balance allowing people to be creative or trying to maximize their creativity or encourage their creativity, and also the sort of sometimes rigid discipline required to just be a good piano player or be a good anything?
I think what I've learned from my teachers and experience to some degree is that it's consciousness, just being conscious of what you're doing. If your hand positions it is a certain way when you're playing, are you conscious of that? Are you conscious of the length of the notes? Are you conscious of how you're working the pedal? Are you conscious of, if you're playing a jazz standard, do you really need to play this similar voicing throughout the whole thing? Or do we have other choices? Breaking it down. So
Sure.
Understanding each element that is into it.
And then it's just a matter of trying to do what it takes in order to be comfortable in whatever choices you make. If I want to be able to play high notes, if I'm consciously thinking in terms of, there's a choice I want to make, I then have to sit and practice this stuff in order to get stuff to come out.
Just thinking about it, being conscious of it is just, kind of like wishful thinking. So,
right. But as a teacher, then you have to say, all right, but listen, we got to take out this metronome and get this together. Or how do you approach it? Because you seem to be more in line with the sort of encouraging people's creative invention.
I kind of prescribe to the idea that if people are creating things that they really own, they're going to not feel like they got a job to do. And
sure.
Then that makes my work much more effortless because people care more about what they're doing. I mean, look what you did. You would come in with works about all kinds of crazy stuff, but it was your ownership. And now you've got a great big band and you got an album coming out hopefully in May.
Yep. So it'll come out. Whether we'll have all the pieces together, we don't know. But
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
And you got a lot of stuff happening.
You try. All right, I got one for you. I got a question. I got to read it, though. I got to read this one, okay? All right. What is Ichinen Sanzen? Did I say that right? And how does that apply?
Sanzen.
How does that have? What does that have to do with
that?
Would be
an understanding that 3,000 life conditions exist in the same moment. That's a Buddhist philosophy.
Sure.
Buddhist concept.
How do you apply that? Do you think about it?
Well, how do I apply it? I mean, I think.
How do you think about that in the context, in the dramatic context?
Well, okay, in a very feeble way, I'll try to do that. I would look at it as a supravertical reality, the idea that everything exists within one thing, or one thing has the potential for everything else.
Sure.
If you want to break it down, what Ichinen Sanzen is, I think there's something in my book that explains it a bit. 10 worlds and 3 realms and the 10 times 10 and
yeah. Well, check it out, everybody who's listening. Check it out because it's cool. I wanted to see if I get you on that.
I will say one thing that was really attractive to me. I studied concept for, I came here in '82, and then in 1986, I met a wonderful bass player named Dave Zox, and he introduced me to Nichiren Buddhism, and I started chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, and I joined the Soka Gakkai, and I've been, very involved with the Buddhist practice since then,
Sure.
And the community. And I find that the philosophy is much in line with science. I find science and reason to be kind of refreshingly creative and interactive,
Sure.
but also commanding respect.
Sure. Yeah,
and also I think that this idea that we have this inherent, we are microcosms of a macrocosm, that would have something that would have an essence of that Ichinen Sanzen concept as well.